What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we are reviewing an episode 2, season 1 of Courage the Cowardly Dog, or I guess, yeah, it's still part of episode 1, part 2 of episode 1, called Cajin Granny Stew. Now, as usual, before we get into this episode, start talking about it, what we like, what we didn't like, we're going to have Mr. Alex Payne give us the breakdown because he is the Courage the Cowardly Dog professional. So, Mr. Alex, tell us what's happening.
Well, this episode has an ungodly simple premise. Basically, there's this fox who's trying to make Cajun Granny Stew to win some sort of, contest or whatever. And he realizes that he doesn't have a little old lady because that's the most important ingredient. So basically, he goes and tries to take Muriel for his stew, and the episode is just a battle between him and Courage trying to get her. So yeah, that's it. This one's very simple.
I gotta say one thing for sure, man. I gotta say a couple things as my first impressions. First, I'm not too sure about this, and I can't remember to be exact, but I want to say there was like a Aesop fable that's kind of similar to this story. Like this is kind of a play off of Aesop fable. Like I know in one of them, like the fox was always the villain because the fox is supposed to be cunning and conniving, sneaky, mischievous, all that shit. So I kind of wonder if that's a play on that.
I kind of want to say it might be because now that you mention that, I kind of feel like I've seen that somewhere.
But it's not like I don't remember the story like that. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Obviously, I don't want to press on it too much because I might be wrong here. But that's the first thing I want to mention. Second thing I wanted to mention, man, that stew was nasty as shit he was making. Like what the hell? What the hell is he putting into it?
He
But
put
most
lizard legs.
ooh,
It was lizard legs, elephant
elephant
ankles,
ankles.
and turtle eyeballs.
I want to say there was something else in there too. Um, I can't remember, but basically that stew was nasty as shit, and you can see it all red and bubbly, and like, oh my lord, I can't fuck with that. I don't want to eat that. But third thing, I kind of noticed this, and it's kind of I don't mean this in a bad way. I'm trying to mean this to be comical. Like, man, the villain has got to be a black guy all the time, man. Not all the time, but obviously the fox is in black. He has a black a black voice actor. But and the reason why I say this is because we had also reviewed SpongeBob SquarePants, the Tattletale Strangler last week, and the guy who played the Tattletale Strangler had a black voice actor. He was like a greenish, I don't know what type of fish you want to call him, but he was like a greenish fish, and it's like, you know what? I watched these two episodes back to back, and that's the one common theme I see. Is like they both have black voice actors for the villain. Oh no, I wouldn't say they're trying to paint any pictures, but if someone else did, I'd be hard pressed to disagree. But those are my first couple of impressions right there. What are yours?
My first impression. It's funny because I watched this episode a few times in the last couple of days. Because just because like so much happens, I just want to brush up on it. But and it's funny because I noticed this on the last view, and I'm kind of happy because I was still unsure of what I was gonna say was my first impression. But Courage had a hoarse voice in this episode. Like the voice actor
Really?
must be had like like the voice actor must be had a sore voice or something when they recorded this. Yeah, like you could
I didn't notice.
trust me. After I noticed, I could not notice anymore. Like it's kind of hard to hear, but once you hear it, you hear it.
Right.
You probably hear the hell out of that when you edit in this video now. But
Oh, most definitely. I'm definitely gonna be listening for it.
so yeah, that's my first impression. Like Courage had a really hoarse voice in it. Not really, but it
Okay.
was like just slightly. Like you could tell just very slightly like the person was sick or something recently.
All right. Well, now let's get into the fun part of this episode. Because, boy, I think we're going to spend a lot of time on this. The moments. What are some of
Oh.
your favorite funny moments or standout moments in this episode, man?
This isn't really a moment, and you could argue that. You know what? I'm gonna just tack this on the end as a first impression, just so I don't waste it as a moment. The friggin' giant ass eyes the fox had, And then when he like put the shades on, they went really tiny. I didn't understand how that worked. It's like he had these giant, and it's funny because like when he put it on, and like you could, and I love Courage. Like this one thing I love about the show is the friggin' attention to detail and in terms of like sound and shit. Like, cause when he put the glasses on, like you hear like a balloon rubbing sound, which obviously indicates that the shade's pressing his eyes in.
Yeah.
And later on, like when they crash the plane and he's climbing up on top of the mountain, you could hear like the Fox music or the Cajun music, whatever music you want to say. Like it sounds kind of like broken up. So I just like
Right.
attention to detail of that. That isn't apropos of anything. Well, I guess it is. It's part of the review. But anyway, so moments. Man, the first one I could think of, well, the birds making fun of him was hilarious.
Oh yeah. When he's what like was he inside Muriel's robe or what?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, man, that robe opening a motherfucker. Like how the Muriel big bitch, I know, but damn, courage deep in the motherfucker in that mud.
And then friggin' the fox pulls him out of his thing, throws him, and Courage lands ass first onto the friggin' fountain and the water spraying out of his mouth. And you can hear through all you hear is boom, oh, it's like, God damn.
You gotta say too, like the way Muriel is like freaking straight up pulling a Eustace from part 1, and this bitch is out. I mean, dead sleep. Like. That's the number one thing that surprised me throughout this whole episode. Like, man, obviously it's cartoon logic. No woman, at least in my eyes, anyone could be asleep through all that commotion that's been going on through this whole little battle, as you want to call it. But this fox basically picks her up and just takes off with her not waking up, nothing. And obviously that's when the battle ensues. But go ahead. What are some of your other moments?
My other moment is the friggin' when he went and stole the salami. Like, I don't know what the hell type of accent that friggin' cook had, but his voice was hilarious to me. And it was even funnier that the shop was called Williams Meat and Salami. Hey, come back with that salami! But so that was freaking funny that he comes and knocks the fuck out of the fox and he drops me. Like, man, I don't even know. I know I'm stealing this one from you, I know. But when he drives off the cliff and lands in the water, he's like, that dog is really becoming a pain in my eyes.
Yo, they did that shit perfectly, yo. That's definitely one of my moments right there. Actually, I forgot it, but that's one of my moments right there, man, for sure. Because that's one thing I found funny. I had to rewind that shit. I'm like, man, you know what? I love how these cartoons do that shit so well. Like they're finna cuss or whatnot, and then they obviously gotta cover it up. You know, it's a kid's show. It's becoming a pain in my. I'm like, yeah. Listen, Courage ain't fucking around. Courage is persistent. That's why I fuck with Courage, boy. Courage is not giving up, man. He will not. He's got the will of an anime character. Straight up, he is not going.
When he knocked him with the salami, I forgot to mention this, and he was like, "I am offended, sir. I really am," or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, man. I just want to say I love the fox in this episode, man.
I do. And hands down, like I'll never forget one of my moments. Was when and I think this was when like Muriel and them was like airborne or whatever. I forgot how the fuck she freaking fell, but I want to say she fell on top of Courage. And Courage was like, Muriel! She freaking crushed his ass. And the fox was so gangster with it. He came by, whoop, 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 whoop. I'll take that from you. Thank you very much. Just dipped on his ass. Listen, man. That fox is straight up gangster. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, that leads to another funny moment. Funny moment with the slot machine.
Oh yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're feeling lucky." And then
this big fish just comes out and knock the fuck
straight up hits him with a Mike Tyson punch. Boom! Just drops his ass. And I forgot how they got to this point. Obviously, it's a big battle. A lot happened, as you said. But basically, Courage with Muriel. The fox is straight up gone. I don't know where he is at this point. And he calls the police. And he dialed way too many numbers for the police. I thought it was 3. He dialed like 26. But he's like, oh yeah, I forgot what he.
I
Oh
think he
no,
just said
that's when
help.
he was saying help, but then he shape shifted, and I don't know what it was some big ass thing. I know that. It's surprising. He's and
It's
he
funny
goes back
too.
normal. He's like,
I
okay, we're sending the car as soon as we can, and that's
I just want to
obviously
mention though that the voice of the freaking 911 lady was so hilarious to me. Like she just sounded so
it
like
sounds.
tired of life and she didn't want to be there, but like it's just had such a weird, unique voice. I don't even know how to describe how I feel about the voice.
Listen, all I know is that Fox is straight up gangsta. I don't know how he know Kurt's phone for that car. Okay, it's 1990 something. I'm sure when this episode came out, he may have had some technology or something. He had some futuristic shit because he pulled up like he heard that shit on a police scanner, and he just straight up took Muriel and just jetted off on him.
And he knocked the fuck out of him with that freaking nightstick.
Oh yeah.
Just bam.
But listen, in comparison to the old episode, Courage, Courage ain't pussy. Courage was not going in this, man. And that's what I like, man. That never say die attitude of Courage. Um, as far as I remember, that's one of my last moments. Do you have any more?
Um, uh, let's see. There's just there's just so much of them. I don't even know. Like
The last one. When they're finally when Courage busts through the roof of the dude's house, he gets Muriel to the house, put flowers her up like he's gonna toss her in and whatnot. He hops through the roof and just basically ends up knocking the fox into the stew. And they were like, Muriel's like, what's that smell? Smells good. He's like, fox stew. he's like, no, you don't want any. You don't want any. So, and that's the last moment that I think that
oh,
was
I,
kind
I
of
got
funny.
when they were standing on top of the plane and thing, and they was trying to like keep it from tipping over or whatever. That
Oh
was funny.
yeah, yeah.
That was funny to me, especially how they were talking to each other. It's like me. It's like this is all your fault, my fault. It's like yeah, you're trying to eat her. And then she like drops off the side. It's like I knew she was underneath there. It's like yeah, right.
Muriel. Listen, I think it's safe we get into final reviews now. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first. In comparison to the first episode, which we did last week, obviously, this beats it hands down to me. Like Courage, he feels more like his normal self. He obviously got punked a lot more in this episode, but that's Courage, man. They accomplished a lot with the
Yeah, they
comedy. I
had a nice
love the
back and
Fox.
forth.
Yes, and you can enjoy that. And it felt like a lot happened in that 11 minutes, as you said last week during our last review. It's just like, man, they accomplished a lot with this episode. They did a lot in this episode, is what I meant. And
Mm-hmm.
it was meant to be comedic, very comedic. And I best believe I got a lot of laughs out this motherfucker. Okay? So, hands down, with the comedy, the storyline, obviously, it is so crazy. It's a simple premise, but they're able to make a lot out of a very simple premise. Like, yeah, like you said, it's the fox trying to make a stew and trying to kidnap Muriel for the stew. It's just amazing me how they able to fit such full and complete stories into 11-minute time period. But you said that last week. Ain't no need to rehash on it this week. It's just something that needs to be said, man. But
Yeah.
this episode, hands down, really killed it for me in the comedy department. I freaking love it. And with all that being said, I'm gonna have to hit it with a nice 7.5 out of 10. Classic Ray Rawlins 7.5. It definitely deserves it, honestly. What about you?
Man, just like you said, man, I really enjoy the fuck out of this episode every time I watch it. Like I feel like there's just so much to love and enjoy about, and I love the back and forth. I love the fact that like when Muriel was with the fox, you heard the Cajun fox music, and then when Courage had it, you heard like I guess the traditional music. So I love that back and forth between the musics of who was winning at that moment in time and all that other shit.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the pacing was really nice and fun. Like I said, this was just a really funny and fun episode. There's just so much shit that happened, and it's just really hilarious. Honestly, I'm gonna have to give it a. I'm gonna have to give this one a really high rating just because of like how enjoyable it is.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Okay.
so I'm gonna give this one a solid 8.5.
Ooh. You know what? I was thinking 8 too. I honestly was because I did enjoy it. And I'll even up, because you said that. I'll even up it. I'll even up mine, say, as if it
Because
really even matters. But it definitely deserves all the praise it gets, if it gets any. Like, for real, this is a funny ass episode. For me, not being a lifelong fan of this series as you were, not watching it from the beginning, and for just getting into it and enjoying this episode as I did, honestly, that's why I want to give it that motherfucking solid 8.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention this too, because I forgot to mention this, like in terms of reference to you, because you saw a lot of the scarier episodes and all that other stuff because of the high rate of Halloween, and just because of the ones we happen to do so far since we started doing it consistently. So like, this is your first, I guess, example of like a true act, like of just a pure comedy based episode instead of like a horror based episode.
Right. And I enjoyed it, man. Hands down. I definitely enjoyed it. You have anything else to add?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything.
All right. Well, there y'all have it. My name is Ray Rawlins, and we are reviewing Courage the Cowardly Dog Season 1, Episode 1, Part 2, Cajin Granny Stew. Man, listen, I'm a poet. I didn't even know it, but I hit it with a nice 8, and Alex hit it with an 8.5. Very enjoyable episode, man. As always, we're always interested in hearing what y'all have to say, man. Toss your comment in the comment box below. And as always, we want you to keep checking out some more reviews on the channel. So we'll have some videos coming up on the end screen and all that good shit. If you like what we do, hit that like. If you don't like what we do, don't be afraid to hit that dislike. And if you really want to support us, hit that subscribe button on the Cartoon Kid channel, man. Don't forget, this is where we talk cartoons and we do it daily, baby. With all that being said, we will see you tomorrow for a nice modern day SpongeBob SquarePants episode review. And we will see you when we see you. Peace.